Hello, Knockouts. Tonya TKO here, and I'm a self-love specialist and relationship expert from TonyaTKO.com. I hope you learn to love yourself and each other. Today, we're going to be talking about this petition that someone created on change.org in order to quote unquote stop Derrick Jaxn. You know what? I feel like I have to speak on this because if we know what it is that we know about Derrick, Derrick is not going to speak on it himself. And if he did, he'd probably just be smirking through the video and be like, you do what you do, right? But nonetheless, I wanted to talk on this real quick, and I'm a little reluctant because I don't really have much nice to say about it. So I'm going to jump in and jump out. The last time I checked, this petition had about 3,000 votes on it. They're trying to get up to 5,000. And then my wonder is, once you get up to 5,000, what happens at that point? Does a magic wand come and stop Derrick from making his videos? That's my first thought. Second thought, I wanted to just, oh God, let me look at some of these comments. Somebody called him a mangina, saying his stuff is unhealthy. A lot of men coming out, males, I'll just say males, a lot of males coming out, writing and speaking about this guy, Derrick. And here we go. Then this dude, he was the cause of my divorce with my wife. F this guy and his biased attitude and message. It's all a recipe for deceptive practices. Really? Come on, man. Son, really? It's like, I find this to be so embarrassing. I find it to be embarrassing because I just, and I get into arguments with men. I've gotten into about 2 different arguments with male people in my comments who come over attacking Derrick Jaxn, because I made a video where what it is that I was saying, people gathered that I didn't like Derrick or something. I'm not a Derrick fan. I don't have anything against Derrick. Derrick has his platform with his niche audience and people who gravitate towards him. He speaks about self-love. Do I feel like Derrick is biased? I do. I feel like he skews really far to one side. But from what it is that we've seen historically in this country and in many other countries with the subjugation of and the disempowerment of women, maybe some skewing is what's necessary. If this male believes that Derrick Jaxn was the cause of his divorce, that some person on the internet caused his divorce, what does that say about him and his participation in his own relationship, 1? Or 2, the choice of woman that he chose that would be influenced by some stranger on the internet. And 3, if learning about self-love and empowering yourself as a woman caused your woman to break away from you, then that speaks volumes about your relationship in and of itself. Personally, I find it weak, and I don't want to use the word pathetic, but I don't have positive feelings about male persons going onto the internet. It's like, it's so, like the victim energy is so dense and so heavy. It's like, how do you expect for a woman to respect you? And the power that you have is to go onto the internet, to beg and plead people to sign a doggone petition that you have in order to quote unquote stop this man. And what were the reasons that they said they wanted to stop him? I don't think you know what, I'll put the link for the petition down there. I only took a screenshot of it, but basically wanting to stop him because his videos are skewed and all this other stuff. And I'm like, how disempowered are you as a male person that this is your recourse, that you're so fixated on this being and his platform that you can't even think of how to live your life normally, so that you have to get up and create a male created this. And it's like, sometimes people come out and they're like, Tonya, you don't like men. No, actually, it's on the contrary. I love men and I have a tremendous amount of respect for men and manhood. So when I see male persons behaving in this disempowered stance, bubbling and stewing in their own toxic femininity, I'm revolted by it. It's like if you look at the type of male beings that I criticize, these are the ones who are disempowered, show no initiative, no direction, no personal ambition or responsibility, who are wallowing in victim energy, soaking in toxic femininity. You know how we talk about toxic masculinity being the violence and all that other stuff, the toxic masculine. There's also a toxic feminine where there's the gossiping. Like, as a male person, please don't come to my page wanting to gossip about another man. You know, there's a stage of development between boys and girls where the boy realizes that he's not a girl. He realizes, because like all children want to, how's the word? They want to enter back into mama. They want to be with mama and meld with her because they can't understand the separation because they've been with mama since conception. And when they separate from mama and come out into the world, there's this disconnect where they really want to be with mama. But where they want to be with mama because they can't differentiate themselves from mama. Mama is their source of food. Mama is their source of comfort. Mama was their source of housing before they came out into the world. But there's a stage that happens in development where boys realize, oh, I'm not mama. I'm actually a different entity. And those boys then go with Papa and they start learning how to be a boy, how to be a man from Papa. And then there's like an arc that's created where these boys learn how to be boys, then learn how to be men, and then they want to return back to womb man, right? But I think what's happening is that there are far too many boys who don't have an example of what manhood is. Me, I had a very strong patriarch in the home growing up. I have a very strong patriarch in my family now. My father is a very strong, responsible, ambitious patriarch who handles his business as a man. Far too many of these males out here never got the point of separation from their mamas so that they exhibit the toxic characteristics that their mother exhibited, the gossiping, the disempowerment, the victim energy, so that they emulate these as male beings because they don't know any different. But me, I'm sorry, I do not respect a man coming forward gossiping about another man, coming to my page. I can't stand that Derrick. Derrick, he's bad news. Look at him. He ain't nothing. No, you're not going to come to me with that. You're not going to come. I had a conversation with a man on Instagram where I tore into him because I just did. You want to talk? Well, we talked about my vagina turning into a Christophine, like sucked up like the bottom of a Christophine from watching the men on that show, Ready to Love. But it's like when I interact with male beings like that, it's like I can't rest in my feminine while you're wallowing in yours, sir. I cannot. So it's like this is what causes so many Black women to be riled up in the masculine when your counterpart, where you have to balance out your counterpart's femininity with your masculinity. It's like, when does a Black woman get a chance to rest? So in terms of this whole petition foolishness, it's an embarrassment. And all of the men, like, I can understand some of the women who are coming out because, listen, a woman wallowing in her toxic feminine, that's fine. Or listen, because there's going to be some overlap where there's certain things about how a woman doesn't really feel as if she has the power to make the difference that she needs to make. So she makes these comments, right? However, the men coming forward talking about what Derrick Jaxn has done to them. And if you're one of those men, I beg you and I implore you, and then I want to ask the question, for some of you men who had fathers in the home, were any of these, your male patriarchs, were they gossiping about other men? My gosh, it's like... And on that note, I'm going to jump out of here because I want to hear your thoughts below. I know I can't be the only one. Women, do you respect? I just want to leave the video. Women, do you respect a man so disempowered that he has to come out to create a petition for who? What governing body is going to stop Jaxn from making videos? This is what, I can't. Tonya TKO and I'm out. Go out there and love one another. Most importantly, love yourself. And loving yourself is empowering yourself. Stop playing the victim and stop acting like other people on the outside of you are doing something to you. Urgh.